95.1 Nigeria Info.
Alrighty, 7 minutes after 3. Good afternoon to you and you, Sani. Thank you so much for staying with 95.1 Nigeria Info. And the conversation continues. If you think you've had it all today and talked everything talkable, well, I promise you there's still a whole lot more to talk about and we need your input. So please tag with us on Hard Facts from now till 7 p.m. My name is Kimberly Wachuku. Call me Kim, the Oracle, the Digital Oracle, OTF, the fellow, Ochanya One, Madam Speaker, and I'll say yes to them all. And Somi.
Yes, Somi is here. I always feel so incomplete because I don't have like this many other names to say, but I'm sure I'll catch on.
I'm sure you will eventually.
I'm sure I will. It's good to be here. Good to be here.
Thank you so much, Abuja, for staying with us. And yes, we do have Dr. Majeed Dahiru in the studio with us, a researcher, columnist, and the tech team lead of Luke Stera Leadership Foundation. Dr. Majeed, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon,
Good afternoon. It's good to see you here.
It's good to be here.
We poached that from there.
No, it's good. It's good. Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Yes, so I greet you.
How are we doing?
Oh, well, Niger, there's always something. The plot thickens every day. You think you've come to the climax and you tell you, hold on. Season 2 is here.
And
there is, there's just a lot of drama unfolding. Before we dive right into what's happening back home, to go through the decision made by 3 African countries, Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso, to withdraw from the ECOWAS. And we had several conversations during the week. We even had a guest opinion, and it felt like, they wouldn't feel much of it. It's going to be us, Nigeria. And people started even questioning ECOWAS generally. What, in terms of input, does it make in the lives of the member state and member country? How has it asserted itself in the area of ensuring that democracy is properly entrenched in the countries that make up member states? And now that we've seen some countries withdrawing, the African Union has even said, we're sorry that is happening. But no one can stop a sovereign state from making their own call at the end of the day. So a lot of questions. Are we going to see more of it? Will more states now decide to we're withdrawing from ECOWAS? But the regional bloc does have a lot of advantage from when it was established to date. I mean, we have the gas rail that is supposed to cut through the entire West African region to benefit all of these countries. We've had combined military enforce, certain order in certain countries, like we saw in the Gambia when, a dictator was trying to stay put and the people wanted someone else. So it's left for us to see what this would lead to in the near future. But what's your general take now that these 3 countries say they're withdrawing?
I think it's a failure of the leadership of our president, Ahmed Bola Tinubu, who happens to be the chair of the regional body at this time. And this leadership failure was something we pointed out when the coup took place in Niger, and his reaction. He personalized the issue, and in the process, he failed to look at the larger picture. He lived in denial of the fact that, whereas we have a semblance of democracy across the continent, but the fundamental truth remains that the democracy in Africa is not democratic enough to be sustained or to be sustainable. And that is why it is failing. Democracy in Africa is failing because it's not democratic enough. And when the democracy does not do anything for people in terms of improved welfare and security, people will seek alternative means of leadership. And that's what happened in these 3 countries. Now, having realized this fact, the regional body under its leadership should have handled that matter differently with this realization that, look, the coup in Niger was a very popular one. This was not just an opportunistic coup by military officers and rogue soldiers. These were people that were acting out the people's wish at that time. People wanted a change in these countries because we are suffering from insecurity and almost near absence of welfare for citizens. And so these were popular coups. And I had expected then that the president would have sat down with his colleagues and looked themselves eyeball to eyeball and say, look, the only antidote to coup in West Africa and the continent at large is good governance, good democratic governance.
Yeah.
And so what we need to do as member states is to begin to improve on governance style, structure, and framework that can deliver for the people. That was what I thought he, as a newly elected president and newly inaugurated, should have brought to bear. While they will simply ask the authorities in this country, so when are you going to, return power to civil democratic rule, and have a dialogue of some sort, extract some commitments by way of the safety and freedom of President Bazoum, for example, who is under house arrest, and his family, and some commitments as to, okay, we all agree that democracy is what we desire. So when are you going to we need the time frame under very respectful, atmosphere. But talking down on a sovereign nation whose people...
But it wasn't under, that atmosphere that this military hijacked a democratically elected government.
When you say democratically elected government, I keep saying democracy in Africa is not democratic. We must understand this fact.
Okay.
A democracy where elections are rigged is not democratic. And so let's not live under this illusion that democracy in itself is an all-encompassing word that spells Eldorado. No, it's not. We know. And we're Africans, and we know the peculiarity of our democracy. Look at what's happening in Cote d'Ivoire. Look at Togo. Look at some other country. You call that democracy? Not really. Now, where this failure was most impactful is that it concerns Nigeria. Let me tell you this, and I've said it before on this program. The priority of any country, especially when it comes to foreign affairs and external relations, is its country's interests, national security and economic interests first. Niger has been Nigeria's most consistent ally in the entire continent, culturally, economically, and security-wise. And this security, not just physical security, energy security. Don't forget that we are able to dam the River Niger on the lower end for KNG power generating the plant because of an agreement we secured with Niger. Do not forget that between the two peoples of Nigeria and Niger, particularly on our northern side and their southern part, are culturally homogeneous people, linguistically homogeneous. Yeah. And so that has, kind of fostered a very close relationship between these two countries. Do not forget also that even in the war against terrorism, now as we speak, the multinational joint task force that was formed with countries like Chad, Benin Republic, and Niger is one giving support to our armed forces in order to be able to contain Boko Haram insurgency across that region. Now, a major contingent to this multinational joint task force are Nigerian soldiers and officers that are stationed in the far region of Niger. And they are giving serious support because they are also troubled by this same situation. Now, having considered all of this, what the president should have done then as president of Nigeria, when there was a coup in Niger, was to dispatch his Minister of Foreign Affairs to go in and first and foremost get guarantee